couple of things that some sellers may not anticipate when they go to sell their home, especially for the first time, but even after that. Sometimes emotional attachment is a little bit harder to let go than you would think. A house is a financial transaction, yes, but it is also an emotional roller coaster. Sometimes a house for someone is their first step into financial freedom. It's where they raise their kids. Sometimes it's where they found the love of their life, found their love in themselves. It's the place that they made into their dream. It is a lot more than just money, and it can be difficult to let things go sometimes. You might feel some hesitation whenever a buyer comes to you and gives you a lower offer than you were expecting, or suggests changes or renovations to the house. It can feel personal because our homes are a representation of ourselves. Sometimes this can lead to hesitation or second guessing. Just know that that's okay. Try to focus on the future. Think of it as a new chapter to a new step in life. And sometimes working with a professional who is able to treat your home as a product rather than an emotional space can actually help with the transition. Be prepared for the fact that buyers are going to critique everything. They're going to say the house is too big or too small or a weird shape or not a weird enough shape. They're going to say that there's too much of it or too little of it. The yard's not green enough or big enough or too hilly or too flat or there's not enough trees. They're going to comment on the paint color and the carpeting and what they think would look better with the trim and how they would decorate it. Just remember that while those kinds of comments and that kind of feedback feels personal, because it feels personal and that's okay, just remember that it's not. The buyer is trying to envision themselves in a space. They're going to critique every little thing. It's not about you. There can be some unexpected costs of selling. You have more than just your agent's commission, whatever that might be that you've decided on. You also have closing costs and moving costs, and you're going to have some repair costs too. And also, don't forget your mortgage payout. Before you list, ask your agent for a breakdown of all of the estimated costs. Now, keep in mind, we can't give you an exact number until we actually get to the closing table because we don't know what's going to happen along the way. But they should be able to give you a breakdown of what you sell the house for and what you're going to pay out of it and what you're going to make. I found that sometimes this helps my clients be a little less nervous about the future. Timing can be unpredictable. It is never just a cut and dry, we list, we sell, only takes 35 days. Sometimes that is the case. Unfortunately, it's usually not. It is so much better to get on the market before you absolutely have to and have a little bit of a longer close if that works. That is so much easier than stressing out about finding the client as quickly as humanly possible. Because also, if you do that, you run the risk of having to list your home lower and not going into multiple offers if that's your. Try to have a backup plan for temporary housing if you need it, and just be as fluid with the timing as you can. Now, here are a couple of things that you can do as a seller if you're selling your home for the first time or the 15th time, doesn't matter. Here's a couple of things that you can do every day to make showings as easy as possible. It's difficult to keep your home picture perfect all the time. I understand. But doing these little things every day can make it seem a lot less daunting. Firstly is make all the beds every day. First impressions are a really important thing, and if a buyer is walking into a home with rumpled bedding and dishes in the sink and trash smelling up the kitchen, it might make them think that there are bigger issues throughout the house, even if it was really you just got the text from your agent 15 minutes ago and you had to skedaddle. Things like vacuuming up high traffic areas every night, wiping down surfaces like counters, sinks, faucets, mirrors, things like that can leave a good impression and make your home seem even better maintained. It's also important to declutter. As harsh as this may sound, you're not selling yourself, you're selling your house, and you want someone else to be able to imagine themselves in it. As weird as that feels, it's better to take down your knickknacks, put away your family photos, put away all your books, shoes, bags, jackets, and also things like toys, mail, and appliances sitting on countertops. Coffee maker's fine. Now, odors are a really big issue for some people. As someone with a really sensitive nose, it's the first thing I notice when I walk into a house. And for my clients, that's something that's really important to them. Your nose is a big deciding factor, funny enough. Take out the trash. If you have a cat or some kind of indoor animal that is inside all the time, clean their bedding, take out the litter, pick up any animal waste in the yard, and air out the house for a few minutes if you need to. We get used to the smells of our house because it's our house and we're in it all the time. You may not notice things like that, but other people might. Now, temperature and lighting are really important. As someone who lives with somebody who likes to keep the house at 63 degrees at all times, not everybody loves that. Keeping the house at a comfortable temperature for everybody is important. And also things like lighting are a big thing too. Open up blinds and curtains and let in all that sunlight. Be show ready at all times. Something that I almost always do for my clients, unless they tell me otherwise, is ask for at least 2 hours notice on a showing. But I also work with buyers and I will have them text me, hey, can we go see this house in 15 minutes? It happens. Be as flexible with showings as you can. We all understand that life happens and it doesn't always work out that way, but try to keep your home show ready if you can. I know it's difficult, but it is worth it, I promise. Do a quick sweep of the house before you leave for the showing. Make sure there's no dishes in the sink. Spruce up the pillows on the couch. Make sure the beds are made and your laundry is put away. These are just a couple of things to keep in mind when you're selling your house, if it's your first time, and even if it's your 15th.